Hello. Hi, I'm Shantae. I'm here with today's political analysis today on excuse me, I almost forgot what today is. It's a hump day. It's Wednesday, July 15th, 2020. Also tax day. If you have not done your taxes, please do your taxes. You still, I think, got like an hour and some change left. So you have to do it. I'm pretty sure most of you guys have done your taxes. So I'm gonna come here with some of today's stuff. It's not that much that happened today, but of course I always start off with the coronavirus because the coronavirus is real in the field and a lot of people are dying. So I have today, because 188 countries are affected by coronavirus. It's not just the US. So with this coronavirus, we have 13,512,693 cases of COVID-19 all throughout the whole entire 188 countries on the globe. The death toll is for the whole entire world is Haiti. The whole entire death toll of the world is 583,359,000. The U.S., which is account for the fourth of the cases, is at 3,495,537 cases. Excuse me. In terms of the death toll, we had 137,357. That's a lot. Brazil has almost 2 million. They're at 1.9. India has 936,181, followed by Russia at 745,197. Peru has 337,751. Chile has 321,205. Mexico has 311,486. The UK has before the UK, South Africa, which I'm so shocked. They went from 299,000 now to 311,049. Followed by the UK has 293,469. Now in the Latin countries, Ecuador has 70,329. Followed by Panama has 48,096. Then the Dominican Republic at 47,671. Guatemala at 32,074 and Honduras 29,106. In African countries, like I said, South Africa got one of the highest cases. They over 300,000, 310,000 to be exact. Nigeria has 34,259. Ghana has 25,430. Cameroon 15,173. Kenya at 11,252. So Kenya has 11,252. Senegal has 8,369. And I put Gambia on here because Gambia has the lowest cases. They're a small country in South Africa on the west side of Africa, has 64 cases. Now you go to the West Indies. Haiti has the highest in the West Indies, and they have 6,831, and that's because you have the Dominican Republic that's next to them with almost 50,000 cases. So I don't know what's going on. I asked somebody on Facebook, can somebody tell me what's going on in the Dominican Republic? Because I'm very, very shocked. I'm actually nervous for them because there's a lot of kids I went to school with that are Dominican. I don't know, they got some family members that's still in Dominican Republic, so I'm worried. I don't know if they have enough PPE. So I need to know how can I participate in that initiative, And also to Haiti too, because I'm very shocked. Jamaica has 762. Guyana has 308. Trinidad and Tobago 133. Bahamas at 119 cases. Barbados at still sitting at 104. Antigua at 74. Belize at 39. St. Vincent at 35. Grenada at 23. St. Lucia at 22. And Dominica at 18. So most of the parts of the West Indies does have their stuff on lockdown. That's because they kicked out their tourists. That's what one of my little boy toys told me. So, they kicked them out of Grenada. And my brother-in-law's from Grenada. So, I'm going to ask them what they're doing right, what we need to do better. Because they're a small country. Let's get that small island. Let's get that right. Now here in the U.S., according to the New York Times, because what I read was from John Hopkins' website, New York still has the highest cases. We have 408 32,709, with our death toll sitting at 32,111. California has 352,996. Yesterday they was at 345, I'm assuming. Let's see how much they were at the other day, because I think I have the numbers next to me. If I don't, California yesterday was at 345, so that's kind of a big jump. Florida is at 308,802. Oh, I forgot. California's deficit at 7,300. Florida's at 308,802. So if you look at Florida's numbers yesterday, Florida was at 291,621. So their cases went from there to 308. That's like almost a 20,000 case jump. And their hospitals are overwhelmed, and they don't have enough space in their ICUs. And Ron DeSantis, of course, still wants to open schools and still got Disney World open. Texas is at 294,449 cases, and they had their death toll is sitting at 3,547. And I meant to mention about Florida's death toll is sitting at 4,500. And Texas is another one on a trajectory. And yesterday they were at 284,242. So they went up by 10,000 cases. New Jersey cases are rising just a little. It's not crazy like the other two states. That's before the New Jersey is at 178,252, which their death toll is at 15,634. So they're second to us. Arizona is sitting at 131,372 with a death toll of 2,400. Georgia is at 111,147 with a death toll at 3,030. So Arizona yesterday was at 128,116. So they went up by 3,000 cases, but still they don't have enough resources. Pennsylvania is at 102,361, and their death toll is at 7,011. So their death toll is a little lower than California's. North Carolina is at 91,675 with a death toll of almost 1,600. Louisiana is another hot spot, is at 84,241 with their death toll sitting at 3,400. And South Carolina is at 62,247 sitting at their death toll sitting at 1,000. And I'm going to correct myself because I said they didn't do a stay-at-home order at all. They actually did for a month, started in April, but they reopened back in May. But their stay-at-home order wasn't as restrictive as states like New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Virginia, and even North Carolina. But South Carolina still cases are rising because they reopened in full capacity instead of in metrics. Because they feel like their cases were low, but their cases has been steady rising since May, and it's mid-July. Now in terms of counties, Los Angeles has the most. From yesterday, Los Angeles cases were at 136,000. Now they're at 140,000. Followed by Cook County is at 96,000. Maricopa went up by 3,000 cases. Maricopa actually surpassed Queens, them and Miami-Dade County. Maricopa's at 84,000. Miami-Dade is at 69,000. Followed by Queens at 65,000. Still Kings County at 60,000. Harris County, which is in Houston, at 49,000. The Bronx at 48,000. Nassau County at 42,000, and so as Suffolk. So coronavirus, like I said, the cases are rising, and it's very real. I mean, what else to say? I mean, in Florida, the food supply is even bad. According to an NBC News article, 1 in 7 households reported sometimes or often are not having enough food to eat within the last week, the last 7 days. Miami and Houston top with the food insecurities. So you know it's bad. And the food program, which is called Feeding South Florida, that's like Miami-Dade County and Broward County, went from feeding 760,000 people to 1.3 million people. So Florida is not just only dealing with ICU bed shortages and hospital high capacity of hospital beds. High capacity in hospitals. They're also dealing with food insecurity, and their governor sucks. The governor is stupid. He's like the stupidest one. And you got Brian Kemp, and then Ducey, and then they all rank number one, man. They all stupid. But Donald Trump, still saying they on a low trajectory. Pence saying they on a low trajectory. No, they're not. Florida cases are rising. Their hospitals overwhelmed. Arizona is the same thing. Texas is the same thing. South Carolina's on that trajectory. Georgia's on there because the mayor of Atlanta just asked our governor is help, and he's giving her the help with contact tracing and testing. And now the CDC has reported today, in the news, the CDC, according to NBC News and Washington Post and all other new sources, that Trump administration will be taking care of the data instead of the CDC in Atlanta. The CDC is the Center Disease Control. They're the highest medical institution in our country. And you saying they can't handle the data, so the Trump administration is doing that? You know the data is going to be messed with. Thank God we got people like John Hopkins Hospital who report the facts every single day. You can go on their website, because I don't trust the Trump administration. I'm nervous of even going to the CDC website, because who knows who faltered what. We're almost 3.5 million cases, and we don't even have a big population. The United States is only, 325 million people. We're not that big. We're not a big nation. So I don't understand how we can't contain our coronavirus when we have the most resources, the best hospitals. We have the best of everything, but we have bad leadership. I always say that's the problem. Bad leadership. When you vote an outsider in that don't know anything about politics, policies, or health, and any of that sort, it's going to be catastrophe. And we're living in catastrophe, chaotic, confusion. Confusion. We're living in a madness society. It's a twilight zone. It's literally a bad nightmare for the last 3 years. I know I've been living in a bad nightmare with this administration and their policies that desecrate, that ruins everything. Humanity. Destruction to humanity. That's the time that we're living in. But that's just me. I don't know who feels like me, but yeah, that is. And the whole thing with this Dr. Fauci thing, that people are now, Peter Navarro, senior advisor, economic advisor, assistant to Donald Trump, and his whole trade policy thing, wrote an op-ed in U.S. Today, and I'm going to quote him, say, Dr. Fauci has good bedside manners in public, but he has been wrong about everything I have interacted with him on. He said if he was advised by Dr. Fauci, he has his answers with skepticism and caution. Now, I'm going to read Dr. Fauci's clapback. Some people say it's not a clapback, but I think it's a clapback. Dr. Fauci said today at a town hall, a virtual town hall with people from from Georgetown University and Washington, D.C. He said, I can't figure out in my wildest dreams why they want to do that. But I mean, excuse me. But I mean, they realize now that was not a prudent thing to do, because it is only reflected negatively on them. I can't explain Peter Navarro. He is in another world by himself, responding to an op-ed that basically that he said. Peter Navarro's in the world by himself. And he is. This is all an act of Donald Trump appeasing the boss, quote unquote, the king, appeasing people. Dr. Fauci is one of the people that I trust. If it wasn't for him, we will all be sick or dead. Yes, he didn't say wear the mask first, but the Surgeon General tweeted and said don't buy the mask. It's not going to help. So you want to get at Dr. Fauci because he blasts Donald Trump, but don't get on the top surgeon who tweeted and told people not to wear the damn mask? That don't sound right. That don't sound right at all. And scientists like Dr. Fauci and other scientists were still learning this virus. And they're still right now learning this virus, because this virus constantly changes. It was said not to affect kids. It affects kids. Kids died from this. Younger folks my age are getting sick. Some of them have complications down the line on dialysis because of the effects of this virus. For those who saying it's a hoax, it's not a hoax. This thing is real. This thing is killing people. It's constantly killing people. I wish people would stop saying this is a hoax. It's not. Because you keep saying it, you're going to get sick. And God forbid, if it's serious, you're going to die. For folks saying that coronavirus is a hoax, stop it. It is not a hoax. People have died from this. Almost 140,000 people have died. Don't be a co-conspirator. Period. And that's how I'm going to end it with coronavirus. On the political side of things, it wasn't a crazy political day, but it was interesting. George Floyd's family, according to, I think, USA Today, has filed a lawsuit on the city of Minneapolis and the police department for the wrongful death. And the attorneys, and they did it in a civil suit in court today. And I'm going to quote Benjamin Crump. He said, "It's not just the knee of the officer Derek Chauvin of George Floyd's neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, but it was the knee of the entire Minneapolis Police Department on the neck of George Floyd that killed him." The family's seeking a lawsuit, but they're seeking, a compensatory and also punitive damages, and also lawyer fees to ensure also that the Minneapolis police is properly trained. So yes, they want their money. I don't blame them. The lawyers want their money. The family wants money in settlement. But I hope if a family does get settlement, I hope they still charge those men with a murder, because they killed that man. That's manslaughter. That's homicide. You put your knee on somebody's neck and they begging for their life and saying they can't breathe, they can't breathe, they can't breathe, they can't breathe. They telling you they can't breathe. They screaming for their mother, they can't breathe. The man was already dead within a matter of seconds. Not in a matter of minutes. We all saw the video. It went viral. The way the police officers treat black men in this country and says I was a baby back in the 80s, it's just terrible. It's demonstrably atrocious. It's inhumane. It's disgusting. And you have a person that's sitting in the highest office of the land in this country who praises police to put their fucking hands on people, on black people, on brown people, indigenous people included, and even Asian people. It's disgusting. This is why elections have consequences. When you don't vote, you get the Bull Connors and the George Wallaces of them all. And that is the New York con artist, formerly known as Donald Trump, who sits in the highest office of the land. But I wish, with all this stuff with George Floyd, Ben Crump needs to hurry up and get Breonna Taylor's killers arrested and charged with murder. Because it's been 4 months. Everybody else getting locked up for Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd. But what about Breonna Taylor? It's been 4 months. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want to see these guys in jail. They living their best life. Those guys living their best life. One got fired. They're going on vacations and whatnot. Come on. I'm gonna need for the justice system to be equal. Shouldn't be 2 justices. It should be 1. 1 and 1 only. Now moving to Nick Cannon. According to the NPR article, you gotta read your articles before anything. Nick Cannon, where's that? So Nick Cannon was fired from Viacom, CBS Viacom, after making anti-Semitic remarks on his podcast called The Cannon Class. Viacom released a statement saying that we are deeply troubled that Nick Cannon has failed to acknowledge or apologize for the perpetrating anti-Semitism, and we are terminating our relationship with him. So his response on his Facebook saying, I must apologize to the Jewish brothers and sisters for putting them in such a painful position, which was never my intention, but I know the whole situation has hurt many people, and together we will make it right. Now it comes off the heels of, with his interview with Richard Griffin, who made anti-Semitic remarks and was a former member of Public Enemy. But with his apology, though, he goes off a tangent and saying how Viacom didn't treat him right and all of this stuff. I understand people don't treat you right. But Nick Cannon should have known when he interviewed this man that this man is an anti-Semite. He was kicked out of Public Enemy, which is an all-black rap legendary group. Nick Cannon should have known what he was doing. He should have known that this would cost him his job, his coins, his money. It was a dumbass decision for him to do that shit. I don't agree with his anti-Semitic remarks. You have your views, that's fine. But the fact that you are a star that also has Jewish fans, you actually got Jewish fans, because really, I don't fuck with Nick Cannon like that. I'm gonna be real. I don't listen to his music like that. His whack ass song with R. Kelly. I mean, I don't mess with Nick Cannon like that. But I respect his hustle, and I respect what his brand that he has. But having an anti-Semite on your show, on your podcast, you knew you was going to be affected with that. It's just only a matter of time. And the society that we're living in now, like, we're canceling not just only sexual assaulters and harassers, but we're canceling racists too. And we're in a moment of racial reckoning. And it's not just only goes for Black lives. It goes for, Hispanic folks and even anti-Semitic remarks. He should have known better. But what also irritated me, and now this doesn't have nothing to do with Nick Cannon, Meghan McCain of The View said today in a segment, which the firing of Nick Cannon, she said, not a big cancel culture person. She retweeted an actor's tweet and say, why would you cancel? Why would you? He said, why can't you be canceled for anything but anti-Semitism claim? Anti-Semitism. That's what she said. And then she said, in regards of the backlash to Nick Cannon, she said, I'm happy that there is reaction and outrage to Nick Cannon's blatant anti-Semitic remarks. So here's my thing with Meghan McCain. There's 10% of the time that she makes good arguments. And 90% of the time, hell no. And this is one of the 90% of the times where it's like, you can criticize people like Nick Cannon and other folks for anti-Semitic remarks, but you can't criticize people like Tucker Carlson yesterday on the show for saying racist shit forever and ever, and even on the air. You don't criticize him, but you make it a both sides thing. See, that's the shit that I don't like that she does. And other conservative pundits, they do that shit. They do that shit on TV when people in their own party, mostly Republican Party, make racist remarks towards black people. They pivot to the both sides thing. They pivot to, it should be, this is not okay. In a moment of racial reckoning, we have to be, no. Call it out for the way it is. Tucker Carlson is racist, always been racist. He has a whole radio show where he was racist on. He's racist on his TV. He's racist towards immigrants, African Americans. He thinks Black Lives Matter is a terrorist group. He said it on there, and he's not the only one. You have people like Laura Ingraham, who's another one, Sean Hannity, Lou Dobbs, even people on the 5, and the folks in the morning. Like, that Fox energy is bad. It's bad. Like, I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like, I don't. And that's the part that I don't like, what these conservative pundits, especially the white ones, that they do, and they pivot to other things. Like, stop. This is about Nick Cannon and what he said. And that's it. And it cost him his job. But he's supposed to be having a job on Revolt, which Diddy invited him, which, like, Diddy's a whole nother conversation. But like I said, he learned a lesson. He know his remarks and his poor decisions messed with his money. Moving right along to, I'm going to talk about Kanye. For those who know, according to an article in The Hill, Kanye West has dropped out of the presidential race. Days after he was running for president, rapper Kanye West is reportedly dropping out his attempt to get into the race. He's out. That's what his advisor Steve Kramer told the Intelligencer. Kramer was hired by West to get him on the ballot in key states like Florida and South Carolina. After announcing his bid on July 4th, he would have scrambled to file his papers with the Federal Election Commission, also known as the FEC, in order to appear on any state ballots. However, the deadline for independent candidates have passed. He got some signatures, but he missed a couple of deadlines. That's why people launch their candidate for presidency a year ahead, so they can file all the necessary paperwork and be registered in states. It's just that simple. I knew Kanye West thing was a vanity project and a political stunt, because if he was really, really serious about it, he would have had launched his campaign in the middle of last year. He would have hired the best political strategists. He would have had plans drawn out. He would have been campaigning. He would have been appearing on news networks. He would have been even appearing on black media. He would have talked about issues that affect him, and he hasn't. He's been caping for Donald Trump. He had a whole stunt in the White House where he dropped words and curses and said Donald Trump is a Superman. He has said slavery was a choice. He has done things that were very shaky. And even before that, he was losing his mind. And I'm just like flabbergasted of people still buying his sneakers and his clothing. I mean, what? The man says slavery was a choice. Are you kidding me? I'm a person that's been a fan of Kanye West for so long. And for him to act erratic and crazy like this and saying slavery was the truth, I'm done. I was slowly being done with him, but now I'm done. I didn't even listen to that gospel album because I just can't with Kanye no more. He's a person that I respected in my conscious music that I listened to, but since his mom really had passed away, he has gone on a level of crazy that I can't keep up with. And it's almost been 15 years of crazy. This is just erratic and worse. And I don't know how Kim is keeping him sane and that family, because they're crazy them damn selves. So it's like a bad situation for Kanye. But whatever. Lastly, with the whole Elizabeth Warren thing of her being the next vice president, that's a no. We're in the moment of racial reckoning. We need policy, but also representation. There's a lot of qualified black women that has also been being vetted, for VP. The last thing we need is another white person on a all-white ticket. That's all I'm saying. But I'm going to address the article in another snippet video. But I just want to end this here, that let's stay vigilant. Let's stay informed. And let's be safe. Wear your mask, wear your gloves, wash your hands. I always got to end up, we got to say that because there's people that actually don't wash their goddamn hands. I don't understand why. But just wash your hands, be safe, and take care of yourselves and each other. You guys have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow with the stuff. I have job reports, and because every Thursday is a job report. So I'll be here with some stuff. Hopefully it's not a newsworthy, news-packed day, but I'll see you then. You guys have a good one.